Welcome to another episode of The Power of Choosing.
Today we are talking about choosing to love yourself.
What brought this topic up?
For me, it's the big thing that I think if you conquer this one, if you're able to love yourself, I think that's when amazing things can happen. And I think that's where people get stuck on I want to do better, I want to achieve more, I want to get X, Y, and Z. And if you don't start from a place of, I love who I am and I can do it, then you're not going to get very far. And it comes up a lot with clients. So I had a client call today and I could just see what she needed was to love herself more. And it seems like so hard to do sometimes, especially when you're messing up and you're being human and you're doing things that you don't want to be doing, and you start to feel bad about it and about yourself, and you're like, why do I keep doing this? And it always comes down to like, it's my fault, I'm doing terrible, I'm not good enough, I'm just XYZ, whatever you want to say about yourself. And it's not helpful. And the key thing that we need to do is love who we are. And I think that's could be the start of a whole new life.
Well, I agree with you in the sense that I know it comes up for your clients. It also comes up for my clients as well, as a lot of times they aren't even in the equation. I'm thinking of one specific mother that I work with, and it's about her kids, it's about her spouse, it's always about everybody else. And she's never in that equation. And it's really interesting how culturally it really is driven in us to take care of others rather than taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves first. Because then when we feed into ourselves, we're able to give to others.
Yeah. And I'd say, like, addition to that, we're actually told to hate ourselves. I feel like
Yes,
that's just a cultural thing of look how skinny this model is and look how smooth this person's face is. And do you know you can get surgery to fix this? Or all you have to do is 10 squats a day and you'll be perfect. It's like constant bombardment with this, you're not good enough, but you could be if you buy our product.
exactly. Well, we're both from societies that consumerism is a big thing. And how do you get consumerism is that you have to make someone not appreciate themselves and feel like there's a problem to fix. And so, of course, so it isn't just taking care of others, it is everywhere. And it does come back to the simple thing of loving oneself. And I know this was a lot of the work I did initially when I did become a coach, is I needed to work on this piece because I didn't love myself.
Mm. Yeah. And how good does it feel now loving yourself?
It's great. I am my first priority, which is very counterintuitive to everything that I have been taught and what to do. And I always preach in the sense of when I'm with my clients, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like you need to fill yourself up first. So that is my focus for myself is in order to give to others, I really do need to love on myself, give to myself, do all of those things so that I can give freely in the way that I want. And that's not the consumerism or capitalist society. They don't want you to feel that you have all of that first. They want you to feel that I'm not good enough. You need this, you need that. Like, ugh,
Mhm.
it's a never ending
Yeah. And
cycle.
actually I think it goes back before that to even like grandparents' generation where it would be like they had that ratio of like your boobs, your hips, your waist, all had to be in this like perfect proportion. So I think it's something that's always been within us and maybe more towards the female side
Yes,
than the males of this like we need to look a certain way, we need to act a certain way, like the stuff that we're taught. And that goes way back. And I think it's just ingrained in this probably a societal like we need people to like us, going back to tribes time. So it's really ingrained and it's
mhm,
you have to work hard to go against it. because it's so ingrained in us and society that it takes that extra step, especially when we have this idea that to love yourself is vain and
Mhm.
to say nice things about yourself or brag is boastful, and we just don't do that. So it's much
Mhm.
easier to like bond with people over our flaws because that feels comfortable and you're not stepping into this awkward, like, oh, look at me, which is wrong and bad.
Mhm. There's this one practice I learned in a program that I was a part of. And first we did bragging, which was such a interesting thing because it was retraining us to learn how to brag as women. It was specifically meant towards women. But one of the things I love to pass forward to clients, and I will, all of the listeners can try this too. This is not easy, but it's when someone gives you a compliment, for you to say, "Thank you, it is true," is one of the most challenging things to actually do. Like, that sounds super simple of saying, "Thank you, it is true," but asking my clients to do that, they're always like, "Oh," but as women specifically, not saying men don't have it too, but as women, there is this thing of we kind of brush it off. We don't actually hold on to any compliments. To say thank you, it is true. It just allows that to sit. And it's like a very simple yet powerful way to be able to embrace and love on yourself because we spend so much time in our heads saying all of the things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that. So I ask everyone to try that out of saying, thank you. It is true. And whoo, you get some feels up in the body when you like
I know, I
own the
felt it too.
yeah, it's you feel it and it's really uncomfortable, but it gets into this practice of owning the fact that it is true. And you're so used to not feeling
Yeah.
that
Can
way.
we practice? Can I give you a
Yeah.
compliment? Uh,
I love your hair, Claire. It's so beautiful. I love the color. It's just, I love it.
Thank you. It is true.
How did that feel?
It felt good. And I know past me would have been squirming and not liked it. And I can see the difference. And
Yeah,
it felt nice. And I mean, you picked something I love about myself, which probably
but
does
it's
happen.
beautiful.
And yeah, thanks. And I can see the difference. It's like the difference of being able to take it on and
Mhm,
believe it, and it lifts you higher. And because we do want to complement each other, and there is
mhm.
a lot to love about everyone in the world around us.
There
Um,
is, there is. So getting into a practice of really owning the space that like I am super powerful and to give myself that place to be able to be like, that's what's going on is I am powerful and owning that. And I'm going back to the power pose we've talked about before in the past too. It's all interconnected. And so that's really helping shift the mindset to what is actually true versus what we create to be true, which is not true.
mhm. Yeah, and I mean, one for you. You are one of the bravest women that I know.
Thank you. It's really hard for me to
Well, I was
do
gonna say,
that.
what happened then?
Huh?
What happened for you then?
It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable at times, and it's just, yeah, thank you. It is true. Even though it's my practice that I talk about, it's still hard for me to do.
Yeah, and it's good to highlight, like we're chatting, like we're in this with you, and we've done the work, and on some things we're better than others,
Mhm,
and it's a process, and we want you to join us in this process to just feeling great about yourself, and from there being able to choose a life you love because it's totally possible. And it's this topic. I mean, we say this, but this is my favorite topic. And a lot of the times with clients, I will get them to list things that they love about themselves, and I can just see how uncomfortable it is, and
mhm,
it breaks my heart a little because I can see it. I think that my gift is to be able to see the brilliance in everyone, and I just really want you to see it too because there's
mhm.
so much goodness in people. And imagine if we all just saw how great we were, like what's possible, and the little stuff we don't have to worry about anymore.
Mhm.
So recently I've been listening to this song, and my friend sent it to me, and she's very much in our camp of like the woo chats and the choosing and loving yourself. It's called I Love My Body. And it's like it talks about loving your body from your head to your toe and looking in the mirror and loving who you are and then saying to yourself every day, I love you. And I listen to it over and over again because I think it's so important. And the more I listen, the more I internalize this, like, I love me. I love who I am.
Mhm.
And even just then, my brain was like, well, you can't say that. That's vain. It's so ingrained. I'm like, thank you for your worry, but I'm okay. Um,
Yes.
and I was driving, listening to this song, and I thought back to I used to have this thing about my nose. Like, I have a big nose, and it was a joke in the family. People would talk about it. And my grandma had it too. And she said, if anyone has my nose, I'll pay for them to have a nose job. So then I had it in my head, like, okay, well, when I'm old enough, I'll get this nose job. And my sisters would mention it, and it would just be this joke. And I stopped and I thought, I haven't thought about my nose for years. And it's funny, my nose is the same, but even looking at it now, it's like, it's a nose, it's fine. Like, it's just part of my face, which is beautiful. And I love my head to my toe. And it was just this realization that's not a thing anymore because I'm not making it a thing.
Correct.
And that's what I was doing. And I could easily say they all did it. And I chose to take on what they were saying and make it mean something. And now, if anyone said it, I'd be like, haha. And I wouldn't think twice about it because I love who I am as a person. And like noticing the difference was like, oh, this is where I am now. And this is where I'm going to stay. And it's like stretch marks and all. This is who I am. And this is who I love.
Mhm.
And it feels good. I want to share it with everyone.
I'm loving the fact that this is something that you said it's your superpower to really be able to help your clients see this about themselves. And I keep going back to this is in our brains, we're in this place of like the negative self-talk and the different ways that we can cut ourselves down. And so hearing it from someone else to be able to be like reminding us how great and how powerful and how perfectly unique we are each created and how we're able to sit in this space, but it's in this brain portion that really kind of stops that process. And like, then on top of that is the conditioning of like, oh, that is, you know, you're thinking too much of yourself, or you're like, it's just this weird place of if we could just lift one another up, if we could help ourselves even see the beauty that we each have, it is a different place. I know for myself going through the transition, I'm not saying I'm perfect, as you saw, like I still couldn't even say thank you. It is true easily. Like I was uncomfortable with that, but it's okay that I'm uncomfortable with that. I don't have to be perfect in it. I just need to, like, going back to the nose, like it used to be a thing and now it's not. And it is a process. It is a, like, giving ourselves that space to really like love on ourselves and to really see how we're whole and complete as we are rather than in
Mhm.
here where we pretend that we're not whole and complete.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said something there about like sharing this love.
Mhm.
It all goes together in this like love yourself and others. And I remember a neighbor said something that stuck in my head, which was if you think something nice about someone, just say it.
Mhm.
Because I think we also shy away from saying nice things to people as well. I think there's also societies had a go at that. Like, oh, they'll think you're weird, or what if you compliment something and they don't believe it, or what if they get awkward? I think there's awkwardness in saying nice things to people as well. And I felt it when I was complimenting you then. I was like, well, what if she doesn't like being called brave. That went out of my head, and I was like, just say the nice thing.
Uh-huh.
So she said this, and then I was at church, and someone had this really nice dress on. So I just said, "Oh, I love your dress." And she was like, "Thank you so much. It's the first time wearing it today. It's a new dress and I love it, but I felt so self-conscious about wearing it." And she went off with a big smile on her face.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she looked great. And she just had that, like, I wasn't sure. And I was just able to say, "You look fabulous," and confirm it. And now, if I think of something about someone that's nice, I say it. And you're just spreading this. We've all got things about us that we can love. Let's start there.
Mhm. It reminds me, I worked in a retail job at one point in time, and I felt like the manager did this. She would just compliment people who would come in, and it wasn't in vain. It was like genuine compliments. But then I started to watch myself and the rest of the staff as well. We all then did that too. Like someone would walk in, and it's almost like everyone came in and got a compliment. And it wasn't done like in a weird, awkward way. It was really genuine. But I really loved being in that environment because it was a culture of like just pointing out the thing that we appreciate, we love, that people are not necessarily seeing themselves, or maybe they do, but they don't acknowledge it in the same way when it comes from someone else. And I still do that to this day
Mm-hmm.
where I'll see people and I'll be like, oh, I really love blah, 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 blah. I want them to know, like, you are seen, you are appreciated. And it's such a warm, awesome feeling to have there. So, yes, it is spreading that love.
Yeah. And I love that. It's contagious.
It is. It
You started
is.
doing it, so everyone else did. And from a genuine place as well. It wasn't like she told everyone to do it. You just saw it. Oh, this seems nice. Feels good. I'm going to do it more.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a really good ambiance and atmosphere to have. So, what if we could do that everywhere in all of our lives?
Yeah. And then what if we could do that for ourselves as well? Because we're worthy of that love and attention too. And when you start finding the things, you'll keep finding more.
Yes. One thing I've noticed myself do lately is so I play soccer, that's US, so football to you, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I play soccer, and there was one night where I felt like I had a really great game, and I made the comment and I said, I played really well tonight. And it was really interesting because this has happened before. And this is not just a one-time occurrence. I've noticed when I've said that, it always gets met with this whole thing of, yeah, the whole team did good. And I was like, yes, and I played good. Like I was declaring it for myself because yes, it can be about the team, but I can also own the space of I had a good evening of playing this. And so it's just really interesting that unknowingly people don't even allow me to have that, that they have to include the rest of the team. So I think it's interesting where I do little bits of like declaring my space of I played well.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's always things you can find throughout the day that you've done good, or you wore something particularly well, or whatever it is. Yeah. Talk about your looks, inside, outside, whatever it is. You are doing great things. You're achieving great things. There's so much about you to love. And that's the message that I want the
Mhm.
listeners to get.
Love it.
Yeah. And the homework. So I
Yes.
always set my clients homework, and I'd love for you all to write down 3 things that you love about yourself. And if you're feeling particularly brave, then send us an email. It's in the bottom of, I'm pointing down somewhere. You'll find our email address, and email us, tell us what you love about yourself. We would love that.
I love that. Can't wait to hear.
Okay. You are listening to the Power of Choosing podcast.
This episode was all about loving yourself.